Good morning. Greetings, greetings. Wake up, everybody, family. Here I am, another day, a day we will not see again, September 11th, 2025, at 7 a.m., ready to co create a powerful session with all of you. I'm excited to do this session. I have committed to making sure that we get complete or as complete as we can around the subject matter of wilding out, part two, being intuitive on purpose with purpose. I am coach, EI, guide, support, leader, facilitator, CEO, a bunch of different things. Shawnee Reneé Benton Gibson. I will repeat my name because I'm transforming the pronunciation of my name, especially my first name, because I've allowed myself and others to rock out in the vibration of what it looks like phonetically instead of going with what it sounds like and what was declared at my birth that my name would be. My name is Shawnee, not Shawnee. I'm Shawnee Reneé Benton Gibson. So I will steadily continue to correct the pronunciation so that the vibration of my name can live in real time and space in my world, in the world. And I thank you for honoring the request to shift that up. It sounds similar, but it's Shawnee, not Shawnee. And the W, just ignore it and listen to what I'm saying. So we're going to co-create this session today with intention. I invite you as a witness, no matter when you're watching this, whether it's live, for those who are joining this morning, or it's the afternoon or evening for those who are watching the replay. Just want to make sure that you know, and that I know, and that we know that whatever time we are in this space, that spirit is present, that our intuition is popping, that we get an opportunity to connect with the spiritual realm in this earthly plane so that we can remember what has always been true, that we're intuitive, that we're powerful, that we have spiritual gifts, that there is a thread or bridge between the past, present, and future, that the past, present, and future are right now all happening, that I'm creating the future as I say these words. The future is happening. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming as my breath and my words unfold in this sacred space. And as you breathe the next breath, you're creating the future. The past is present inside of us, and the opportunity for all of us to grow and transform is right before us. So we're going to be wilding out this morning. So I hope y'all are ready, because I am. So let's hit it. Let's get to it.
Great morning, everyone. And how are you, Shani?
I'm good. Good. Thank you for the pronunciation.
I just came back from Guyana, but I couldn't bring enough sunshine to warm you up in here.
I
came back and I got to put on a little light cardigan. And it was nice and hot down there.
All right, we're going to get started. So fasten the seatbelt and mute yourselves, everybody, and then let's listen to our song.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Shay, I love that there's a repeat of the word together, together, together in the song. For those of you who do not know, who may be newer to the Wake Up Everybody virtual community, the theme song was composed by my second daughter, Jasmine Nicole Gibson, and it was designed just for us back in 2020 during COVID, when we were in this process of co-creating each morning, so that we could survive and thrive another day during the quarantine. And just, it's an amazing thing to be able to generate for the need and the moment. And today's session, Wilding Out, just tapping into our intuition on purpose and with purpose. There's a need right now, in this world, for us to recognize that there are powers and energies and intelligences that are bigger than what we have been taught. And we want to tap into our intuition and our spiritual gifts so that we can move through this time in history, with groundedness, with intentionality, with integrity, with clarity, with our third eye, with our hearts fully activated. And for those of us who are womb holders, with our wombs fully activated, it's not about being able to have a baby. That might be part of it, but that's not a mandation. Some of us are no longer able to, like myself, I'm 56 and past my menopause state for years now, no longer creating or conceiving babies, but conceiving and giving birth to ideas, power, energy, leadership every single day. And so we want to make sure that all of our cylinders are activated for what is happening in this time and space. And our leadership has to be, what has to be included in our leadership is the creation of connection. Some of us already have this, but connection with our spiritual powers, our ability to feel into things and to know things beyond books and beyond the things that we are being told. So I want you to consider that you walk with your matrilineal and patrilineal lines every day, not just the folks that are alive, but the folks who have passed on, and that each of us have support through the ancestors, those who are related to us by blood and those who are related to us by culture and by race. And even though race is a specious structure, categorization of human beings, there are folks who were here that were melanated in the past who want to support us on the journey. And there are folks who aren't part of our culture and our race, that do want to support us. Like some of my guides, and some of you may not believe in this, but my guides, what I believe in and walk in, aren't African-American or Black folk. I have guides who are Asian. I have guides who are white, because I have that as part of my lineage too, blood lineage on my maternal side and paternal side. So I just want you to consider that when we're wilding out, it's beyond what we can conceive with our minds. And some of y'all are already connected to that energy and others are not. Before we get started, grab pen and paper, if you would, grab water to sustain you, because we need the molecules, the energy and vibration of water that can take any shape to support us with being able to lubricate this conversation. Because some of us are dry when it comes to the consideration that there are other ways of thinking and being and operating in the world that are beyond our understanding and understanding. And so we're going to I'm inviting you to consider something new and something else. If you are attending part 2 of the Wilding Out conversation, that you came to the last session that I led last month, and you were a recipient of what the community co-created, drop a yes in the chat. If you were here last time when I talked about all of this juiciness and we explored intuition and spiritual gifts and syncretism, you may not even remember that we engaged in that sacred conversation. Just put yes in the chat if you were here with us before. And if you were not here, just say no, so we can get a gauge on who was here and who was not, and just asking the admin to take a look and see what we're working with. And as you're typing in, thank you, Desiree. Oh, I know you were here last time. I love it. I love it. And please do invite others. We're at 20 strong. It's 7:10. I always want our sessions to be filled with the energy and the essence of the beings that co-create Wake Up Everybody virtual community. And that can include new people who are here for the first time. So invite your cousins, your aunties. Last time, I think we were close to 50 strong, and we can do that. So invite people. There are some folks who are in this session all the time in the morning. So if they ain't here, like Z and Teresa, I saw Adam already. I miss Jacqueline. So get her up in here. I think she's been working on her doctorate, and she's been super busy, but ask her to come in, Jacqueline.
Just came in.
Oh, she did. All right. I called her, I conjured her up.
Yeah.
Kathy Thompson, who has been part of this community in the beginning and stepped away, call her in. Mama Ayo, Amaduma, if you know her. Denise Jacobs, I don't know if she's in here. Denise West, just calling our peoples so that they can be in the space. So we're going to carry on. Chantel, I'm going to invite you to refresh the slide deck because I added something to it so you can be all set and ready to rock. But before we go there, I have another question to ask. Permission to begin. So we 21 strong in the space, and I know that there are elders, folks in the space that are 70 plus years old. So if you're 70 plus in this space, is Mama Laura up in here? Because I need my Laura. Nope, she's not. So y'all call Laura or text Laura and ask her to come in. But if anyone is 70 plus in the space, please identify yourself so that we have permission to begin. What'd you say?
So you did it again. Laura just popped in.
All right. Listen, I want y'all to know that we're powerful, and I'm a conjurer. I can bring stuff to fruition by thought and definitely by speaking things into existence. So let's see who else. Is Cheryl in here with us, Coach Cheryl?
No, but Laura just landed in the space if you want to ask her for permission.
Yes. So Laura, tell us how juicy and young you are, and then also if you can give us permission to begin after you do that.
Yes, ma'am, Grand Rising. I am 70 years, yeah. And you do have permission to begin.
Thank you.
Blessings.
All right. So before we, you come back on camera, Laura, got a question for you. I know that you're a believer in the power of the ancestors. I know that you tap into your intuition. What's one of your gifts, Laura, that you have that Spirit gave you so that you can lead and co-create and move in the world? Your grandmotherly energies, your energy as a mother. Like, what gifts do you know that you carry that you want to name in this space? Your intuition, your spiritual gifts, any one of them.
One of my gifts is the gift of curiosity. Mm. Yes, the gift of herbal remedies.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And the gift of sharing my wisdom with others. With that, I'm complete.
Yeah, and it's as you declare it. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. What I will say about the second gift that was named, because all of them have value, is that the second gift, the gift of being an herbalist, some folk in this space, I know Coach Cheryl's this way as well. And oh my gosh, Reneé, I forget Renee's last name, but she has a relationship with flowers and plants. And when we first started Wake Up, she used to come on and do her sessions and have the flowers speak to us. I don't know if the old school Wake Up folks remember that, but she would come in and she would have us look at the flowers and she would give us messages from the flowers. Plants have vibrancy and life. They are living things and they give off energy and they have messages for us. And we need to pay attention. Like, we disrespect plants. Not everybody in the space. A lot of the Wake Up folk are conscious and they have a high regard for plants and trees and the climate and all the natural things in the universe. And that's why we're wilding out. But I want to name that having a relationship with herbs is a spiritual gift. It's sacred. It gives us an opportunity to give our body what our bodies are calling for. So some of us have deficiencies in the body. Another person who has a relationship with herbs is Dr. Danette Bean, who's a facilitator in the Wake Up space. And there are others for sure. You know, who I want to call on, I don't know if she's in the space, is Yvette Hudson. Also has a relationship with nature. She's always outside walking, hiking. And so I believe she has an affinity and connection with with nature too, that speaks to her spirit and allows her to speak to others. So today we're going to be wilding out, and we're going to be intuitive on purpose with purpose. So I didn't plan to say what I just said or engage with Laura in this way, but I honor what Spirit gave. So I told the admin team, we'll see where we go. But what I want to ask you to do in the chat is to drop in if you have intuitive gifts. And if you know what those gifts are, you can say yes and not be clear about like what exactly they are. But if you trust in your intuition and you believe in your intuition, drop that in the chat and tell us what they are if you do have intuitive gifts or an intuitive gift that you want to share. And with the admin team, if Robin is not in here already, my cousin, one of my besties, invite her to come. Maybe if enough of us text her, then she'll come up on in here. And Martine, we're at 27. Let's get to 30, aiming for 50, and we can do this together. Stacy McLean, Mika, let's call in our seasoned wake-uppers in the space. So drop in the space if you have intuitive gifts, and allow that to be amplified in the space. Yes, Zakia, what are they? If you're intuitively gifted and you know it, all of us are, but some of us don't claim that. But I'm telling you today, you are. And we all have a set of gifts. Some of us have dormant intuitive gifts, and others are very active. And some of us have untapped intuitive gifts, meaning like we believe in intuition. We know that we have certain gifts, but others are waiting for us to discover them. And I want you also to know that this is built in as part of our lineages, no matter how you identify. And if you're melanated, it absolutely is built in. And some of us have been taught something else, and those gifts are dormant because the something else that we have been taught has taken over. And so I want to invite us back to our intuition so we can wild out, reactivate, and be on purpose in reference to it. So Chantel, anything in the chat that I need to know and see? And remember, we're aiming for 30 souls in the space. We're at 27. So let's get to it.
All right. So Rachel said, yes, she's a healer and a manifester. Something else is dormant. And then we have Carmen, knowing energy, healing around my hands, profound connection, dreams, and download intuition.
Ashe.
Maria Carla, yes, I'm still learning how to listen. Ashe, same says. But I feel like I share messages through paintings.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yes, different vessels. Maria Carla.
Thank you for being here
correctly.
Maria Clara. Hi, pleasure to be here.
Yes. And who invited you, Maria Clara?
Catherine Green Johnson.
Yeah, awesome.
So are you with the LP?
I'm with Momentum.
Oh, Momentum program.
Oh, right. She did mention that yesterday. Welcome, welcome. Love it, love it. And I want to say something about your name. And I feel this in my body. So I don't see you. What's the last part of the name, the Clara? How do you spell it?
Maria Clara, Maria Clara Golfo. My last name is Golfo, Golfo.
And the second part of your first name?
Maria Clara, Clara.
Yes. So there are inside of a belief, a structure for spiritual gifts are the clairs, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance. There are other clairs too. There's people who have gifted, they have clarity of smell, and so they smell things. It's not happening on the earthly plane, but on a spiritual plane, they might smell smoke or a scent of a plant or a flower, a scent of perfume from an ancestor that has passed on. There are people who have, what's the other gift? Clair taste, but it's not called Clair taste. I don't know the word right now. I was just talking about this the other day, but they can taste something in their mouths and it's a message to them about something. You might be a healer and you might want to call on the medicine that is needed for someone. Maybe they're about to give birth and you want to prepare them for that, or they have a breathing issue and maybe that's the piece for someone in this space, because that just came up for me. Issues with your respiratory system, asthma, bronchitis, or some other issue, sleep apnea or something to that effect. And you might be a healer that can taste what the herb is that is needed to address the issue. I don't know who that is for, but Maria Clara, you being in the space and having that at the end of your name, there are no accidents. So just inviting you to consider that something is being amplified every time we call your name. And then this whole piece with Maria, that name is so powerful. It's a derivative of Mary. And depending on what your beliefs are, just thinking about the mother of Christ or Jesus, and what she's like, a deity. She's been lifted up. I don't know if canonized is the right word. I don't know what the right word is, but she was declared a saint based on her relationship with Jesus. And so just thinking about Maria Clara, and the combination of those two names together, that your name has high energy and high vibration. So each time it's called, once again, something is being called forth. And the fact that you're named that is a powerful offering. And since we're wilding out today, just want to name it and listen to what I'm being given to tell you. Do you have a middle name?
Thank you so much for that. That was very beautiful. My middle name is, I no longer identify as Catholic, but I do have a Catholic middle name that I was christened with.
Ashe, thank you. And sometimes it's not about the belief, it's about the intentions associated with it. I don't know if I'm being clear, but that's what comes up for me, that the names have vibrations, and it's what people imbue towards the names or declare about the name. So whatever that second name is too has a message, even though you don't practice anymore. So is that clear what I'm saying to you?
Yeah, it's Teresa.
Teresa, thank you. Thank you. All right. They're guiding me. I'm going with the flow. So intuition. Anybody on here before I go forward, because we were preparing for the session, and Chantel said a couple of things about gifts, intuition. Chantel, I don't know if you feel comfortable saying this, but there are others in the space who are similar to you in reference to trusting that. And I would love to speak to somebody before we carry on. But before you share that, we're at 29 family. We declared 30. So let's get to 30 so that we can declare 35. All right. So Chantel, you want to share what you shared with the community? I mean, with me and Gina before we came into the space with community?
Oh, sure. So I was talking about reclaiming what's mine, spiritually, what's been given to me from God, higher power, from my ancestors that have had to learn how to trust over time. I didn't know what I was hearing, didn't know what I was seeing, didn't know what I was feeling. I didn't know how to take care of my body in order to receive downloads and to receive understanding of what was coming to me. I didn't know, is this God, is this me? But then I have to remember, like, I'm a reflection of him. So when I hear myself saying things, that's him speaking to me and trusting that. And things will happen, and I'm like, oh, something told me to, and it's like spirit, your ancestors. That's what it's something told me. And when it's a lot of those something told me, it was like, okay, are you listening? And as I listened and trust, over time, those things I started to trust them, and they came to fruition, and I became comfortable listening and understanding and acting on what I was hearing and trusting that it was from my ancestral guides, it was from my spiritual guides, and even learning who they are and asking the right ones to come in and watch over me and to speak to me. So when I'm unsure of things now, I can say and I can call on them for the support, but it took time.
All right. Awesome. Thank you for your candor and your honesty, and your discovery, like sharing with us where you are in your discovery on the continuum around owning the power of your gifts. And, we're at 27 from 29. One of the things that I want to be accountable and responsible for, and Cynthia, I see your hand, is that some folks can't be with this conversation, right? We all have different walks and journeys in reference to our connection with spirit, whether we view ourselves as spiritual or we view ourselves as religious and don't necessarily make the bridge between religious practice and spirituality. They're not synonymous. So, it's important not to collapse them, that some people are religious and they go through the experience or the practice of moving through the structures for their religious connections and following, reading the Bible, saying the prayer, but some folks have a difficult time tapping into the spiritual nature of religiosity. And so it's super important to be able to deepen our understanding and understanding of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and what's possible inside of the practice, whether it's Buddhism or Yoruba or Catholicism or Christianity or some other sacred and indigenous practices, whatever they are. I'm not judging them. I'm very eclectic and open spiritually. What I'm saying to you is that there's a consideration that what we practice may not be it, meaning, or that there may not be all there is to what it is that we've been taught. And there's so much that we don't know, the blind spots that we have around this journey. And Yvette, I'm so glad that you're here. I was just talking about you and your relationship with nature. So once again, declaring 30, we're down to, I don't want to make assumptions. It might be glitches with tech, or it might have been like people like, this is not the conversation for me. Whatever it is, it's okay. Because it's not going to stop what I say. But the bottom line is you get to choose powerfully how you are and who you are. And I remember years ago, I had a birthday celebration for my 44th birthday. And I sent out an invitation, an electronic invitation. And I was telling the folk what to wear. It's like, these are the colors. We're going to amplify the elements. I talked about the number 44 and its power, because it's still like a powerful number for me. 4444, 44, very, very near and dear to me, and has all kinds of messaging for me. So I put the invitation out, and my cousin was a new person in my life. I didn't know her growing up, and she didn't really know me well. So when I sent the invitation to her, she was taken aback. She was like, what is this? The numerology, the what to put on as far as colors and vibration, very, very taken aback by it. And she was like, this sounds demonic to me. And I was just so hurt and shocked. And then I had a conversation with E.I. Robin about it, and I was so angry. And then during our conversation, when we were unpacking, what I got is that sometimes we have belief systems and people aren't there with us, and there's nothing wrong or bad. But just putting out there, this is what I believe, this is what I do. Like, people can get very frightened. And I used to be like that, when I was younger, when I didn't know what I know now. And so I don't have a judgment around it. And I also offer that people not judge me, but I can't control that. But I do have a responsibility to teach, and I will. And I will tell you, 5 years after my cousin was like, I'm not coming to your party. This is demonic. What is this? You're telling us what to wear. This numerology stuff is not what I'm into. She reached out to me and apologized and said that she's now a practicing, I think she is studying or was initiated with Yoruba. And all I could do was laugh, not at her, but just laugh at how spirit works. We're ready when we're ready. And some of us will go to our graves never embracing what I'm about to teach today. But the bottom line is, it's all good. It doesn't change what my reality is, and it doesn't change my feeling towards each of you around your walk and your reality. It's all good. So just want to let y'all know that. So keep inviting. We're back at 28, 2 more before we hit 30, and we will. We're at 29, calling in 30. All right. So Cynthia, I see your hand. The question on the table, if y'all forgot, was who in the space struggles with spiritual belief, about intuition, spiritual gifts, just a knowing without reading or study. Who is that? And
I just wanted to express, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to express, I am feeling the same way Coach Chantel felt and feels. I'm conflicted. I do believe that I am intuitive, but I don't trust it 100%. I find myself in spaces, in another space where it's very Bible-based. And if I discuss certain things, honey, I've already been told yoga is demonic. And there's no way I'm letting go of my yoga, because that helps me release from my body. I know what I have experienced through that. So I am grateful for this space where I could just totally, truly be myself and explore all of that. My mother was very intuitive. My mother believed, but she didn't have guidance. She just didn't have guidance. And it caused lots of chaos in her life. And so again, grateful to God, spirit, source, whatever you decide to call it, to find myself in this space and receive guidance from you ladies. Sister Samiko has been instrumental in this with me. She does amazing work. I was beaten by her twice already. And honey, that first beating was crazy. That first beating. It connected me deeper to my daughter. My daughter revealed things to me that she had not told me that had happened to her. And it was the same exact week that we had the earthquake and the eclipse during the day, the same exact week. And she beated me on a Monday, and I was born on a Monday. My name is Cynthia, which is a derivative of Greek moon goddess. So, with all of that being said, thank you and help me because I need some guidance and I am complete.
Ashe. And before you go, we're committed to teaching in the space. What's beaded for those who don't know?
Oh, yes. So beaded. She beads, and it's for me. I can't remember the exact definition, but for me, it connects you deeper to your womb. For me, it connected me deeper to my mother and my grandmother because I could feel their presence deeper. It just helped me get clarity. It truly did.
So you're speaking about waist beading.
I'm sorry. You can
waist beading.
The waist, so they go around your waist.
Yes,
waist. You pick your beads, they go around your waist that's connected to your womb. They also help you lose weight and actually help you pay attention to how much you're eating and if you're bloated and all of that. So there are many benefits to it, but the spiritual benefits outweigh the physical. I am complete.
Thank you. All right. I wear waist beads. I've had the same beads for maybe 3 years now. Sometimes they pop, and when they pop, it's like new energy, an opportunity for me to focus in. Also, what you said, I'm working on my body now. I'm very sore right now, so you might see me wincing because my right side is just, my obliques are like screaming right now from the exercise that I've been doing, but my waist beads are telling me where I am on my journey, because they move differently when my waist is smaller. Like they move up and down, like when it's tight, like the waist beads stick and stay where they're at. And when I'm shifting inches and removing pounds or releasing pounds, then they start to move differently. Waist beads are very powerful, connected to the womb energy. When I went to Ghana, got a bunch of waist beads from them because they make them there. And there are other cultures and spiritual practices where waist beads and beading are a part of it. And I lead a rites of passage program. For years, we would make waist beads together and then we stopped. That's part of the journey for me too. So very feminine, very connected. And I'm glad that you were able to get more connected to your daughter by way of utilizing them. And the colors absolutely make a difference that you choose because colors have different vibrations. So we're talking about intuition and we're talking about wilding out, reconnecting to our natural way of being, beyond our minds and what we study, a way of knowing that has nothing to do with what you've been told, not by human voice or writings or listening, but by a deeper level of listening and a deeper voice, either your own or voices outside of you that are healthy and whole and grounded, because not all the energies and messages that we receive are that way. Just like humans that walk the earth, there are energies that are low vibrational sometimes, and being able to discern, to have a level of knowing of what to tap into and what to activate is super important to the journey, right? So, Chantel, if you could tell us what's in the chat. We're 31 strong. Let's aim for 35. So who are the 4 other people that we want to invite into this space? Your cousins, your aunties, your besties, your co-workers. Invite the persons that you believe would be open to the conversation and are in need of this type of conversation and exploration. And while we do that, let's listen to Chantel and what she has to share about what we've co-created so far.
All right. And thank you for all of that that you shared, Shawnee and Cynthia. It made me think that about the way I had to find my tribe, because I couldn't have some of these conversations with my family and my grandmother, my aunts and uncles and cousins, and knowing that this was specifically for me, And then people didn't understand, so I didn't always hone in on it either. I didn't know how to tap in. And it wasn't until I found the people who understood and spoke that language, who not only understood, but they poured into me, shared their practices with me, that then felt comfortable, and it felt right for me to practice the way that they did, and showed me the ropes per se of how to tap in. And I'm so grateful for Spirit of a Woman, Be the Tree, this Wake Up Everybody, all of the beings in here who understand and get it. And when you find your tribe, you just know, and then you flourish in that, right? And so I still have my family, and teaching them some of the ways too. But
Okay.
I had to find my people.
Yeah. And they will also find you. So thank you for sharing that, Chantel. And sometimes we don't recognize them when they show up, but just grateful that we all have the opportunity to wake up. Like the name of this is an affirmation. It's
Mhm.
an affirmation. Every time we log in here, when we say the name, when the song is played, when we do the opening, that is a spiritual activation. So wake up, everybody, is the name of this space, and we shorthand it and we say woo. And that's a powerful thing too, like woo child, woo tribe, love it, love it. But the actual name is Wake Up Everybody. So I'm here today on September 11th, which is known for a very tragic event in history, and some of us were impacted by it. And then also, what I want us to know that this is a 911. I was on a call with Chantel yesterday, and the person in the space, their birthday is today, and I was like, "What is your birth number?" I was asking really their name. I mean, I'm sorry, their age, but they said 911. And first, I didn't get it, but I'm like, "Yes, today is September 11th. Yes, the event, that tragic event happened, but before that, the energy of 9/11, like this is an emergency situation. So this conversation is an emerging or emergent conversation that we need to be in because of what is happening in the world. We need to be awake and aware and taking action and seeing beyond what we're being told. Because as you can watch and see, we've been lied to a lot, and it's being revealed. Like all this turbulence, I know it's scary and all of that, but we're in a time in history where we can make some really amazing decisions about what's next. And so, just thanking you all for showing up and thanking you for being at 34 souls in this space. We declared 35. Once we hit 30, here we are. I just called it up. I told you I'm a conjurer instantaneously. 35, let's hit 40. 40 souls in this space having this conversation, and each of us have access to a bunch of people. So any conversation we're having in this space with the numbers that we are, amplify those by 10, right? So if we end up in 50, like we declared, that means 50 times 10, 500 people will have access to this conversation because we talk about it. So Chantel, what's in the chat?
All right. So let's go back to our gifts. Florence said, I have discernment, intuition, a deep relationship with trees and plants. I hear from spirit. I'm a healer. Tanya said, I pick on people's energy. Not sure how I would describe that. But we'll give you the language around it today so you understand. And then we have Jackie, who says she's a healer, she's intuitive. I feel energy and sense. Claire Gustins,
Oh,
Gina,
with
with
the
the
note
taste, the
or the taste. Okay.
okay. That's for the taste. We were talking about maybe you could pick up on some herbs that people might need, or food that people would need for their
Yes,
health.
yes, Ashe. That's a good one. Thank you, Chantel.
Hmm. And then Z said, I'm guided by spirit. Sometimes it's very clear. Other times I'm unsure and I question the source. I'm open, growing, and learning. I say same here. Phyllis, Grand Rising family. I'm going underground. I'll check in with the replay later. And so let me see. Florence said, people trust me without knowing me. Yes. And Yvette said, I have a gift of connecting with babies and young people.
Ashe. Yes,
I mean
powerful. Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Um, Let me see. Rachel said, whenever I speak transparently, it's to help set someone free from shame. Sometimes when I share, my body shakes, and I don't always understand why I speak the way I do, but the download I receive is simple. Speak your truth, don't be ashamed.
Yes.
All right. And then we went into the waist beating, how the colors matter and the vibrancy and frequency of the colors matter. Also with your chakras, I like to do my beads around the colors of the chakras and when I want more support in. And Luan just said I wear my beads for protection. Different from when I gave birth, I had some for healing. Yes, different reasons why we wear them as well. And then Florence said trees and plants speak to me. They tell me what they need. They tell me they tell me how they feel. And then Maria Clara said, yes, trees and energy.
Sure.
And then we have a hand up. I think this is maybe Mama oh, who is it? Hattie, but I'm not sure. Who's healthy?
Oh, Hattie McCutcheon, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right. Well, they're gonna let us know who it is. So unmute yourself if you have your hand up.
Grand Rising, beloved queen.
Oh,
Hey, girl, don't be trying to fool us. Okay,
So we were
another name.
so maybe if I raise my hand under this name, they'll call me.
Okay, y'all finish your speculation. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So that's my declaration for right now, and I'm living in my declaration. Shawnee, they told me that you're going to be wearing orange when you and Omari go where you guys are going. That's what they told me last night. So, I am cycle breaker. Yes, I identify. I've been labeled that after coming through the Be the Tree rites of passage. And I proudly stand in that. I have humor. And what came up for me, I put in the chat. I didn't even press send. But by their fruits you shall know them. That's a scripture in the Bible. I've been to a seminary, so I was studying to a degree religion, and so I moved towards spirituality. And when I was inviting people here, over the months, some people was like, no, like it was shared, that's demonic, that. And so I took a look at that, and then like you said, Shawnee, what works with
Johnny.
Shawnee, oh right, get that right. Shawnee. So what works for you is what I share with people, and even let myself know. Don't pull people into where you are, sweetness. You send an invite, right? As an invitation, no obligation. And so I'm learning that yes, it is uncomfortable for some people. And all I'm paying attention to is what works for you, sweetness. Like you said to Chantel, is that they'll come to you. You won't, they'll find you and you will find your tribe. And I'm feeling really, really good with that statement and free with that statement. So I want to leave that energy in the community this morning. And thank you for your powers of manifestation, and not to be afraid. Oh God, not to be afraid of those who have power to do what needs to be done. Ashe, with that, I'm complete.
Yes. I want to also amplify the name you came under, that's an affirmation, and just inviting folks to call that in. And thank you for the message, sweetness. Healthy, wealthy, and wise. What if we all operated from being healthy, wealthy, and wise? Being healthy, just declaring that, right? Mind, body, and spirit. Wealthy, that's wealth in itself, being healthy, mind, body, and spirit. But just thinking about having abundance of all types, not just money and currency, but enough time, enough energy, enough pleasure, like all those things, having enough, being enough, and then the wisdom that you need to manage good health and good wealth. I love just 3 words. It doesn't take a lot. I said conjure, I'm unapologetic about that because words have meaning, but humans make words have meaning, just like wild can be viewed low vibrationally. I'm telling you, I'm declaring that what I mean when I say I conjure is that when I speak a thing, it shows up. So I have to be careful of what I'm saying, and be conscious of what I'm manifesting. But one of my gifts is that I'm a master manifester. And when I was unwell, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, not always physically, because I have a healthy body pretty much, but the body can be healthier when my mind and spirit are well. That I used to conjure all the time when I was in low vibrational space, things that I didn't want. relationships, intimate partnerships, friendships that were just not healthy. And so, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Say it for yourself. But if you're unsure of whether you deserve that, and you're unsure of whether it's possible for you to call it forth, then you don't have to say it. This is invitation. And Sweetness said it, and I love that she's echoing what I teach, that it's invitation, not obligation. You don't have to do what I'm asking, but there's no accident or even coincidence, because I don't believe in that. I believe everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. I don't say the word serendipitous, like it's literally divinely orchestrated. Even the shit that doesn't feel good, that Sweetness came in under that name, and we get to affirm healthy, wealthy, and wise. So thank you for that. And I'm like, damn, I got to buy something orange for next week because I'm trying to listen to you when I go to DC for the Congressional Black Caucus. But I do have orange. I'm like, let me go look in this closet. And if I don't have it, I get to buy something. Damn, Sweetness. Damn. Anyway, carrying on. I ain't use a slide yet, but we're going to see what
I was just saying that we didn't even get to the side of
Yeah, it's all good.
7:45.
I'm following what the spirit has given.
Yes.
So the title for the session is Wildin' Out, being intuitive, on purpose, and with purpose. And we're doing that right now. Right now. So Chantel, let's go to the intuition slide so that we can at least anchor ourselves, because there are folks that don't necessarily know. And I acknowledge that we're at 36. Let's go to 40. Let's conjure, y'all. Let's co-create 40 manifestations. Text the person again. Maybe they weren't up 10 minutes ago, but they're up now. Just invite them in. And there's some folks who are anchors in the wake up space and they're not with us for whatever reason, but let's call them in, y'all. Let's tap them on the shoulder. So let's carry on, Chantel, whenever you're ready. All righty. So let's hit the recording. Or I see that you don't have, something's happening. You see the thing on the side where it says you don't have permission? All right.
That's for the song later.
All right, got it. So it's like reminding you. So intuition, who is willing to share their voice to read the first paragraph, and who's willing to share their voice to read the second paragraph? Somebody. Unmute, y'all.
We have Gina.
Gina, go ahead, Gina.
I'll do the second paragraph.
All right, thank you.
All righty. So for the first paragraph, intuition.
Read the title. Thank you. The title first. If just in case you weren't, you may have been on that direction already, but just want to make sure we read it all.
Okie doke. Intuition, a wild definition. Intuition is the inner compass of our natural way of being. It is the knowing that rises when we return to our wild selves, untamed, authentic, and rooted in our deepest rhythm. Intuition is not a separate part of ourselves. It is integrated into the flow of how we live, love, and lead when we honor our natural state.
All right, natural state. By nature, I've been teaching that a lot. I'm about to launch, along with Chantel and other coaches, the WILD Intensive. And WILD stands for Women Intuitively Leading by Design. Let me say this again. WILD stands for Women Intuitively Leading by Design. It's not leaving the men out. It's just that program is designed for women, and men will be blessed when women are intuitively leading by design. It's just all will be blessed, no matter how you identify. But this by nature statement, just 2 words, means that we're utilizing what is inherently within us. And that's not just about the DNA in this body, how you're embodied now in this incarnation. That means all, this is my belief, the ways in which you've shown up before, right? And then all the folk that are part of your lineage, those living and those who have passed on. That's by nature. What's unnatural sometimes is taking what we've been taught in this lifetime at school, through our culture and our conditioning, this concept about what a woman is, or what a girl is, or what a man is, or just that binary that it's only man, woman, and that's it, and forgetting about everything that is in between. That part can be unnatural. And so we can take the unnatural and utilize it. But the bottom line is you don't X out the natural so that we can survive in this lifetime and go along to get along, that we need to tap back into nature, which is us as well. Internally, I'm a part of nature. We're part of this ecosystem. And I forget right now what it's called, but the structure for the life structure, like from the plants, the animals. Somebody in here is a scientist or into that, and you can drop it in the chat. We're part of that, and we're not just that. So this categorization sometimes gets us in trouble. It gets us in trouble. So let's read the second paragraph, whoever volunteered.
Theodora.
Thank you, Theodora.
I don't see the paragraph. All I see is everybody. That's why.
Are you on your phone?
Nope, I'm on my tablet.
You may have to slide to the left or the right. You should see a screen share.
Oh, I see it.
All right, awesome.
The second paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Intuition is feminine energy in motion, receptive, sensing, and attuned to what lies beneath the surface. Women are sacred holders of this vibration, carrying within us the ancestral and spiritual technology to perceive what cannot always be seen and to act from the wisdom of the unseen.
Woo! What is it? This is biblical now. And once again, we're co-creating. So somebody drop it in. Sometimes my brain doesn't remember all the details. But faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen.
Unseen.
So thank you, Theodora, for confirming that I got the scripture right. I don't remember the scripture number, though, chapter and verse. So somebody drop that in, because the numbers have value, and pointing you to it if you are a person that studies the Bible and amplifies those teachings and those declarations. So we have been taught, even when we study the Bible and are believers in faith, we've been taught that if it's not tangible, then it doesn't exist. Science definitely tells you that. If you can't prove it, it doesn't exist. Now their asses are going back and studying intuition and its power and spiritual, like measuring spiritual energies, because they know they're dead wrong, and trying to take away what our ancestors knew to be true about life and light and nature and the animals and our connection to all of it, and how dreams could teach us what we needed to know, like in our sleeping time, that we get messages and we are able to be tapped into differently. They're trying to go back and study it and measure it, but I don't need the measure and the data for me to know that the data is within me and that the messages are all around me and the opportunities are before me. Now, something just happened, y'all. Y'all don't know, but I know. I got a necklace from my brother. Well, he gave me the charm maybe in July. And then when I went to visit a few weeks ago, he purchased the necklace for me. Now, I put it on this morning and it's been holding. Thank you, Hebrew. Look at that. Jacqueline, that is not the chapter and verse. Is it 11:1? Is that it for the faith scripture? Hebrews 11:1?
I was trying to work this phone. That's what I found.
Listen, first of all, the ones are also very powerful for many of us. Some of us in this space see 11:11 all the time, have a connection to 1, to 11. I'm a 1 person because I'm the firstborn of a firstborn of a firstborn. I'm also born on the 1st of the month in October. October is the 10th month, but it also adds up. 1 + 0 = 1. So 1 is all around me, around my leadership. Like 1 is everywhere. 1 is everywhere. It's a lot to carry, but that's just the bottom line. But the fact that it's Hebrews 11:1 is no accident. That 111 energy is so powerful. And it means stand in that, right? The unseen, the unseen. And sometimes people can't see the power in you, but you don't have to see it to feel it. Somebody said that one of their spiritual gifts is that they go into a space and people are just drawn to them. I'm like that as well. People say it all the time. And, I lead a rites of passage program called Be the Tree. And one of the things that I declared as my brand, not the business brand, but my Shawnee brand, is powerhouse in the house, because people kept telling me that you're so powerful, you're so powerful, you're so powerful. I'm like, let me believe them, right? Let me believe that. So my brand is powerhouse in the house. I stand in the one. I live in the one. I lead from the one. And not from a space of I'm better than anybody else, but I just trust and believe that I'm in the energy of the one. And I teach, speak, and live from that energy. Not all the time, but enough to make some shit happen. So just want y'all to know that. So going back to what just happened. My brother bought me this charm, this pendant is a picture of my daughter Shamani, who passed away in 2019 due to a preventable birth-related pulmonary embolism. He gave me the pendant first, and on the back, there are no accidents. Woo, Jesus! On the back, it says a mother's love, and it's the infinity sign. That's another sign that is part of my life, the infinity sign. So, it came off while I was talking to y'all. And what I have a pendulum, I've had multiple over the years, but what I'm getting is that I need to utilize this to give a message to somebody through Shamani. So whoever's open to that. But with pendulums, you can only ask questions where you can get a yes answer, no answer, maybe answer, or ask something else. So I've been utilizing them for like 15 years. So I have a connection to it. Definitely a deep connection to my daughter. Infinity is the message, a mother's love. So let me go here. Because what I'm being told is that there's somebody who is going through something with their mother. I'm also going through something with my daughter, but I don't think it's about that, meaning my living daughter. But somebody in here is struggling, and it's come up for them over the last few days about their mother's love or not getting it or wanting it. And I'll see what the infinity sign is trying to tell me. I'll tap into that. But whoever you are, there's a message in here for you. So if you want it, raise your digital hand if you know what I'm talking about. It may be more than one of you in the space that is struggling around mother's love, either giving it to your children or receiving it from your mother. I'm trying to really get in tune with it, but somebody needs to help me. So Tanya, I see your hand. I don't know if it's a Tanya that I know, and I see Florence's hand, but it's more than just y'all too. So Tanya, if you could unmute. Tanya, Tanya. And we're almost at 40, y'all. We're at 39. So y'all call in the next person, please. The number 40. Let's get this 4 popping. Tanya, you ready?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I was trying to figure out how to get on.
Oh, okay, no problem. So tell me what you hear. And this is just about this this tool. My daughter like taking it off my neck and telling me to do this. So okay. So what you got, lady?
So my mom, I'm sorry.
No sorry for tears. Just cry and keep talking or breathe. Make sure you're breathing too.
She didn't raise me, but she's always been like a part of my life. My grandmother and my aunt raised me. And particularly this year has been really hard with her. When I was a teenager, I really didn't want no parts of her, but my aunt and my grandmother always kind of told me, well, she's your mom. You know, you can't just like cut her off. But in the last year, I've been going to therapy, kind of really trying to take care of myself physically. I've been going through some things with my body. And actually being on this call, I feel like, so I've gone through so many tests and doctors and specialists and everything, and they can't really pinpoint what is going on. But being on this call today, I feel like there's just something in me that's just trying to get out.
Okay.
And I've had to cut.
Let's check in because we're co-creating. So tell me what the physical thing is, because sometimes they can't tell you what's going on because it's spiritually based. And I'm not a doctor. This is just a conversation. So I want to make sure I'm being accountable and responsible. But I'm a metaphysician, meaning that I trust the emotional and the spiritual that is connected to the physical. So when they have physical ailments, I talk about this all the time. There is messaging for us. And there may be something we need to do with the actual medical doctors, but there's also messaging around how to address it medically and get the other medicine that you need through working on your emotions and tapping into spirit. So what's happening with your body?
So with my body is more with my head. I started suffering from migraines, and now I'm struggling with dizziness.
Okay.
And it's really just that. So it's really neuro.
Neuro. All right.
Mhm.
And just thinking about this message, a mother's love. I'm just asking the question. I'm not, let me stop doing these caveats. Cancel, cancel. Let me just be me.
Mhm.
You mentioned your mom, that's the entry. So
Mhm.
when did the migraines start?
About 2 years ago.
When did the dizziness start? Is the same 2 years
The
ago?
dizziness, no, the extreme the dizziness, the extreme dizziness just started like on the second, so about a week
Okay.
already.
And you mentioned like a new entry of your mother into like you opening up to have her be more connected and present in your life.
Well, I actually had cut her off for about 4 or 5 months now, and then I just let her back in
Okay.
about maybe 2 weeks ago.
Right. 2 weeks ago. Um, when your mother, when your mother is in your presence, like what happens as far as your energy about yourself, your thoughts, like when you engage with her, what happens to you? And it's not just
Um,
like conversation, it's about like your
mhm.
physical beingness, if you get me.
I kind of revert back to feeling like a kid, but then but the feelings of anger when I was a kid.
Okay. And where do you normally hold your anger?
I've been told like it's on the top, like near my shoulder, neck area.
Yeah, which is connected to your head, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how does it show up? Like, is it dull? Is it tight?
Tight.
Tight. All right. Whew. And thoughts about yourself when you're interacting with your mother. You get the question?
Yeah, you said the thought. I'm sorry, I didn't
Thoughts
hear it.
about yourself when you're interacting with your mother. And if you need an example, I can share because I have a similar dynamic regarding my mother in
Yes,
faith.
please, if you can share.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just with my mother a few weeks back. I went to visit my family in North Carolina. And I was very anxious about connecting with my mother because my mother is more like my cousin than my mother. She gave birth to me. My grandmother raised me. And so when I see my mother, whew, what comes up for me is my failings as a mother. Um, what comes up for me is shame. Um, and this pendant says a mother's love, that there's a lack of that for coming from her. And then also me, because when you're a daughter, you have a mother, but you can also mother your mother, not from an
Yes,
unhealthy place.
yes, I get what you're saying. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes when there's a disconnect and something is broken in the relationship, it can create a heaviness or an overwhelm. So when I think about your head and headaches and dizziness, I think about overthinking, um, uh, um, not necessarily processing all that is in your head or saying what there is to say, um, uh, overwhelm. So when you're with your mother, what are the thoughts that come up for you about your mother and about you?
So I think the most is because with my kids, at least I feel like, you know, I'm there and I'm a mother, right? Like I'm that role. And with her, I feel like, why weren't you there?
Sure.
Like, why couldn't you be there for me? And even as an adult, when I have let you in, why can't you just be there? Why do I have to always take care of you and be there for you and help you? And I don't feel I could ever turn to her as a mom.
Mm. Um, Thank you. And for your tears. In this space, we declare tears as libation. And I just got that this is a whole message for both you and me and anyone else who needs it. I'm like, I don't know why I didn't see it even when my brother gave this to me, but a mother's love is infinite. Because I told you, it says a mother's love and then the infinity sign. is under. A mother's love is infinite. And a mother's love, because it's infinite and it's everywhere, it's in nature, it's all around us, that you can get it elsewhere. And you got it elsewhere. I'm hoping. I don't want to make assumptions. You
No,
said
I did. I did.
raised by your grandmother and your auntie. Is that correct? All right. And sometimes mothers are conduits. Conduits meaning you got here, but they're not necessarily the conductors or the conduits of our raising, of our growth and development, of us being our powerful selves in the world. So I'm going to say this again for you, for me, and for others. Sometimes mothers are conduits, but they're not conductors of the energy that you need for your survival, your thriving, your powerful existence in the world. I'm going to say this again. A mother's love is infinite. A mother's love is everywhere. A mother's love is all around you. You receive motherly love and are receiving motherly love from me right now, from this community. You're receiving motherly love from other women. I don't know who they are. Some of them are your age, some of them may be younger. You don't have to be older than me to mother me. Your children can mother you in a healthy way, if we allow it. Of course, we need to make sure that we're not parentifying them or projecting, but our children can give us motherly love because they came through us and we're their mothers. They can reflect back to us what we have given to them. A mother's love is infinite. A mother's love is all around us. You can tap in, receive motherly love from the earth. You can tap in and receive it from the fruit you eat. And when you're eating nourishing things, you can transform and mother yourself through the way that you eat so that your head is not clogged with energy that doesn't belong there. Are you receiving this?
Yes, I am.
All right. So tell me what you hear, beloved.
Well, what I've heard is, and I think what I know I have ignored is the fact that I do have women in my life that do show me that motherly love. I just never saw that connection because I was always trying to run after my mom.
Yeah. And she may not have the capacity. Maybe she didn't receive motherly love. And you know what's so deep about this is that sometimes the grandmother that gives love to the grands and is so nurturing was not that for the children that they gave birth to. I mean, I don't know, like which grandmother.
No, you're right. You're right. Her mother raised me.
Yeah. Isn't that deep?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes we're too close to it. They came from our womb and something there just doesn't allow for us to give it in that way. But then the ones that came from the wombs that we gave birth to, they're able to give it in that way. People joke about that all the time, but there's truth in that. Sometimes we're older and more seasoned and we can see things more clearly, or when we're more removed, we're able to show up more powerfully. But a mother's love is infinite. A mother's love is all around us. A mother's love exists in nature and in the trees and in the plants. Allow them to love on you and get out of your head so that you can get ahead and live the life that you're ordained to live. I'm not saying don't seek out support from the medical doctor. That's not for me to say. Maybe it's a combo, but know that there's work to do emotionally and spiritually. And part of it is to release the story that you tell yourself about what your mother is supposed to do and be. She may not be able to do that for you. And staying there is a waste of time. I'm not saying she is. I'm saying staying in that story about what she's supposed to do and who she's supposed to be is a waste of time. Tap into the love that you can see and feel and have. Get that shit and rock out, please, because we need to be focusing on other things. What do you do in the world?
I'm a mother.
And what else do you do in the mother? I love that you started with I'm a mother.
Well, because right now I'm not employed by choice, so that's my main role is I'm a mother.
Yes. And what a powerful offering. And look at you transforming your motherly. Girl, you better transform as you get that job fully and completely. The headaches and all this stuff, because you can't be fully a mother or anything, any role you carry, if you're in pain a lot. It takes you out.
Yeah.
I know pain can paralyze you and keep you from being able to think straight, and just be your
Mhm.
natural self. Like it really can debilitate us. And so it can make us mean. I don't know about you, but
Yeah, yeah.
certain pain just make it like, ah, and you can't be the mother you're ordained to be and transform
Mhm.
and break that cycle around mothering if you're not well. All right. So Tanya,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank
Thank you.
you. I appreciate you. So for those
Thank
with
you.
raised hands, get what you need to get out of what I shared with Tanya. Um, a mother's love is infinite. And I'm grateful that thank you, Shamani. Thank you, my baby girl, who's a mother too, had two baby girls when baby girls, Lord, had a baby boy and a baby girl before she transitioned and would mother me a lot. She would put me in check a lot. So I got mothering from her as well. So I thank my baby girl for being the pendulum today and for sending a message for Tanya and the rest of us. All right, Chantel, where we at?
You tell me. We going to the next slide or we going into more people? What
Chat, no more, not more people for right now. We're at 40. We were at 41. So thank y'all. Let's manifest 45. We can get to 45 before we end this session because we don't like that. Y'all, let's go for it. And Chantel, what's in the chat that I need to know? Or we need to know?
Yeah, let's see. One second. All right. So Rachel said, "This is so crazy. I recently, is it in this space, or is it divine? Right? I
It is
recently,
divine.
yes, I recently
I'm sorry.
incorporated.
I'm sorry. Can you mute my? Because I don't know where to press mute, and
A
you're
lot of
about to
beauty.
hear my daughter.
Sure, no worries. There you
Everything
go.
up for her
Yes.
voice too. Yes.
All right. I'm muting. Okay, there you go. Um, where was I? Oh, Rachel. I recently incorporated as it's beneath the surface incorporation, and while preparing for an upcoming session for Woo, I wrote something down that simply said emotion equals energy in motion. You can't
Ashe.
make this up. Thank you for the confirmation. The title and the direction I'm going with the session I'm creating is the direction I should be going.
No shoulds. Take that out.
Yeah. Don't shit all over yourself.
Can be, can be going in, will go in. But no shoulds.
Yes.
All right.
Um, yep. And so let's see. Quantum theory is about the operations or way of spirit, Florence said. And we are holding space for you, Tanya, and breathing for you as well as Shawnee.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
that was from Laura and K Sweetness, both sending you energy. All
Mhm.
right. And then Cynthia says, my sister, myself, Andrea, also breathing with you and Tanya.
Thank you.
Um, Laura said, I experienced severe headaches as a child who was separated from my mother as a 3-year-old child. Right. And then Laura also said, thank you, Tanya, for being transparent and for being your healing tears and for your healing tears. Mother Earth thanks you.
Yes. Mm,
Jacqueline said, this session brings up the fact that I am an empath. I try to forget that because of the connections that I have, difficulties releasing. I'm getting better at releasing as I honor myself.
Ashe. And the title, I want you to remember this. Wilding out, being intuitive on purpose with purpose, right? So we don't want to just be rocking out because one of the things that intuition and spiritual gifts can be is mesmerizing. You can get so caught up in the power of it. It's like a child at play, right? And we get so caught up in it that we start messing with it and engaging with it irresponsibly, right? Or being lost in it so that we are not fully present in our lives. We need to be grounded. We need to engage in study. We need to make sure that we're taking care of our physical beingness and our mental and emotional health. We don't want to be calling in energies that don't belong with us. So when you're engaging and studying, make sure that you're covering as well. And you're asking for only light energy and those that belong there that are for the highest good for you and the others are around you, that are around you, because it has a ripple effect when we use these gifts. So I want to make sure we're being accountable and responsible. And as a leader, I must be responsible because I will be dealt with if I am not. So thank you, Chantel, for reading what was in the chat. I want to go into something that I declared and shared in the last session, which is about people who are identified as Black and Brown and our ancestors, and specifically about people who identify as African American or part of the diasporic experience. Anybody who is part of a culture, part of a nation, whether it's indigenous or like literal nations that have been declared and that are counted in this world count, that have experienced enslavement, that have experienced being denied their humanity, that have been relegated to being animals and not like the dominant culture. No, we're not like the dominant culture. Like that song, Not Like Us, by Kendrick Lamar. Like we are an amazing people or peoples. And so these gifts go back and back and back and back. And then we've been denied the truth about them. So I'm not saying anything that has not already been said over and over again across time. And the amazing piece about folks who have been part of this experience with the diaspora and have been kidnapped and enslaved and subjugated and made to feel like they're less than or savage, right? The thing about it is that the unlearning, the conditioning, the whitewashing of our practices has created a disconnect. And so this conversation is about wilding out. And that means returning, like I said earlier, to our natural way of being and practicing and these deep connections that we have as a people. So I want to go to the slide that talks about our wild gifts and how far back they go. And then after that, Chantel, what we can do is go to the women, because I don't want to forget the women. They will come for me today that we want to talk about that were operating inside of their wild intuitive gifts and led powerfully and transformed lives. So let's go to the slide that has our wild gifts go back and back and back so we can be reminded. And I need a reader for it too, or readers. So who wants to read? Voices we haven't heard.
I'll read.
Thank you. Who's that?
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you, Lovey. And read the title too, please.
All right, I gotta turn it to my phone. Our wild gifts go back and back and back. And then I turn it again. Hold on. When African people were stolen and brought to the Americas, they were not just enslaved, they were spiritually exiled. They were separated from their languages, from their rituals, from their deities and ancestral altars. But even under the weight of chains and brutality, their spiritual gifts could not be fully taken.
All right, so hold another voice because we want to bring this energy up. Not meaning yours is down, but just keep adding more voices and those who need to speak in the space. So who wants to read the next part? Unmute yourself.
I'll read.
Thank you. Who's that?
Queen A.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The women, the mothers, midwives, healers, and dreamers were the primary carriers of those sacred tools. They didn't just bear children, they bore memory. They whispered prayers into the ears of babies. They read signs in the stars and in dreams. They used herbs to heal and protect. They sang songs that seemed like lullabies, but were actually codes for survival.
Sure.
They bled together, and their synchronized flow opened up a gateway for ancestral power and wildness to emerge.
Yes. And remember, I talked about emergency, the rising of something or the resurgence of something. We have to step back into our power. We have to own that because we're menstruating, we're not dirty or unclean. Our blood is the sacred. Our blood is the reminder of what we can do as it relates to bringing new life into the world. Our blood, when we're bleeding, I miss my cycle so much. It actually makes us more in tune with spiritual messages and giftedness. I used to be so on edge during my cycle. Part of it was the low vibration of it was poor eating and overstimulation, like being just out there doing too much, working too much. Like I needed to be still, but we aren't given that privilege, right? So all these heavy period, like the flow, almost like hemorrhaging, the deep pain, the irritability. Like if we actually tap back in and went back to the sacred manifestations that the cycles can provide, we would be off the charts powerful. And we bleed together when we live in the same space or when we're working together a lot as women so that we can amplify the power. I don't know if y'all remember seeing the video earlier when the women were standing together and they're raising their hands and then from above, the light comes down into the crown chakra and amplifies the power and brings the messages through that I showed earlier on the slide. But the bottom line is that we have to to release these myths. There are women in this space who are like, I hate my period. I hate my cycle. Oh, Aunt Flo is here and are upset and mad about it. I can't wait until I'm not bleeding anymore. I'm like, listen, words have power. You're conjuring stuff with those words. Restore your relationship with your cycle and do what is necessary so that you can relieve the pain. Some of us have fibroids and endometriosis and all these things. Part of the reason why we have these imbalances or diseases is because of what we eat, but it's also what we ingest externally that does not serve us, and also what we think and how we operate internally that doesn't serve us. So let's restore and get back to our power. So thank you, Chantel, for putting this back up. Let's wild out, y'all. And that includes our menstrual flow. That includes what we sing, what we say, our prayers, like the tools that we use, and all the things that are connected to us amplifying, because we're sacred antenna. So what are you tuning into, beloveds? What are you tuning into? And this is not to leave the men out. Anything that the women do to transform themselves, the men will benefit from. And how, no matter how you identify, we all have access to feminine energy and vibration. We just need to remember that, not make it about roles, gender roles, and all that stuff. That's so low vibrational, because we're not all just one way, right? But it's so important to remember the energy and vibration of the masculine and the feminine so that we can amplify them and live from a space of balance, and then use that power to be who we're called to be. So who's willing to read the last two pieces of this? There's 2 paragraphs, very short. Who wants to share their voice? Ooh. Come on, y'all. And we're at 43. Can we manifest 2 more so we can close out at 45?
I can read. This is Judith.
Thank you, Judith. Hey.
Yay. These women were root workers, visionaries, conjurers, prophets. They were the heart of the resistance and a catalyst for survival during the most brutal and most inhumane time in world history. They adapted, they discussed, they disguised, they synchronized, and at the heart of the sacred innovation was the woman.
Yes. I love they disguised.
Yes.
What do you hear, Judith, when you hear that?
I hear everything that we are, all things that we do. And even though we walk in plain sight, we still function in secret and still get things accomplished, and no one knows what happened. And before you know it, a woman has accomplished it.
Yes. Love it, love it, love it. So looking at the picture on the left, just imagining what all of those sisters in this image were going through and what they were just holding powerfully, and they made a way for us to be here. So holding all that pain. And sometimes we operate like we just fold, like we just collapse under the slightest thing. Oh, this person is not interested in me, or they don't like me, or whatever it is that we collapse under. And I'm like telling you, they kept going and growing and manifesting because they saw a future where we would be in it. And they're like, I have to keep going so that those in the future can have something to stand on. So the disguise, the prayers, the hiding, what they brought back from the motherland, like all of those things that they kept alive for our sake. So grateful for them. And then on the side, I have underneath the image, some of the things that we can do because we're conjurers, or some of the things that we know inside of our spiritual giftedness. So I dreamed a fish. What's that mean, y'all? I dreamed the fish. It means many things, and it crosses cultures, but inside of this diasporic experience in the cultures and the ethnicities that
somebody's pregnant.
Yes.
Yes, babies.
Yes, something about to be birthed. Yup. So shoot, when I was a teen and I was pregnant and had no business, my grandmother was like, what's going on with you? And I'm just like, I'm not pregnant, but I was pregnant. So don't run from it. Pay attention to your dreams. One of my spiritual gifts is dreaming, but my dreams don't come through as clearly when I'm not eating well, and when I'm not getting adequate sleep, and when I'm just doing too much screen time, too much work. My brain is tired, my body is tired, and the messages don't come through clearly. But dreams have saved my life. They've saved my life, y'all. They've got me out of toxic relationships. Dreams have saved my life. Death comes in threes, so it's paying attention to that. And then also, she was born with a veil on her face. They shared that when I was born, a part of the sack was on my face, or shrouding my face. And they declare that when that happens, that means you're a seer, that there are spiritual gifts that you have, and you're here to share those gifts with the world. So let's talk a little bit, and I think I'm going to go about 15 minutes over, but we'll see. Let's go to the syncretism slide. I want to revisit this, move through it quickly, and share some things before I thank you for sharing, Vashta. I didn't even know you were in the space. Welcome, Vashta. All right, syncretism. So I want to share about the fact that we do disguise things, like Judith read. We disguise things. Let's get to 50. Yes, Gina. Invite your people in. We went from 45 to 44, but I know whoever that is will come back. Let's manifest 50. That's what we declared. Thank y'all for playing with me and conjuring with me. So Black spiritual innovation. Syncretism is when you're able to weave in what the indigenous practice is, the African-centered practice is, the mojo, the budam, like whatever it is that they say is dark and that you should not be doing and integrating, what they try to take from us. We were able to disguise it inside of them declaring that the Bible was the way for us, and Christianity and Jesus and God. I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that the enslaved were forced to practice Christianity, and what enslaved them and what kept them subjugated and bound was the God that they were taught. They were taught from the Bible that they were supposed to be in those positions of enslavement. Weird, wrong. Woo, Lord. So syncretism in the context of enslaved African people in America refers to the blending of African religious beliefs and practices with those of European Christianity. This blending occurred due to the forced displacement and enslavement of Africans who were exposed to new religious and cultural contexts that actually, like I said, were designed to keep them bound and dizzy and off center. But we fought through it anyway, right? Enslaved Africans, stripped of their traditional rituals, practices, and structures, found ways to adapt and integrate their beliefs into the new environment, creating unique forms of spirituality and cultural expression. One of the things that I love as far as ritual is the ring shout. Anybody in here know about the ring shout? Drop it in the chat if you're familiar with the ring shout. If you've ever been a part of a ring shout or witnessed ring shouts, please, so powerful. And it's a combination of African tradition and practice and Christianity, the call and response, that movement, that stomping and clapping. Ain't nothing like it, y'all. Ain't nothing like it. The clapping, the singing, and the movement. That can conjure up stuff. Moving in a circle and singing and everybody, engaging and calling on what they're calling on, not always Jesus or Abraham or Isaac and Jacob, but calling on Yah and Yemeyah, or whoever the names of the deities were from their African traditions. We're dope, y'all. We were able to hide it in plain sight. So let's move forward. Yes, center scene. Absolutely. Can we move forward to the next slide? Thank y'all for rocking with me. All right. Still at 45. Can we get to 50? Yes, we can. So African traditional religion is on the left side. Church is on the right side. Not everybody is a church goer, but if you have any connection with church and church practice, you'll know that there's a blend. So syncretism, originally compiled by the Juju goddess. This is from a book. So the ancestors is the language that is used in African traditional religion. And then in the church, they'll call them saints, right? And when I tell you the Bible is full of ancestral veneration, the talk like that is like conjuring up ancestors. There were constant moments in the Bible where the ancestors came through and were talking to people while they were asleep and telling them what to do. And some of y'all know the Bible much, much better than me, but I know this is true. Ancestors are talked about all throughout the Bible. In the beginning, all of the stories and stuff like that. They keep tapping back in to the old, so that they can operate in the present and create the future. The calling on Jesus is the calling on of an ancestor. The acknowledgement of Mother Mary is the calling of an ancestor. They're dead. They died. Like, so it's all in there, but people will tell you that you are wrong and that it's demonic and call it ancestor worship. When it's not worship, it's acknowledgement that it's all connected. Spiritual baths, baptism, dunking them in and then pulling them out, and to behold, you're transformed, right? So you take a spiritual bath to release some things. So when you get baptized, it's releasing the sin and declaring yourself anew as a follower of Christ and being part of the body of Christ. Possession, like you're demon possessed. But when you catch the Holy Ghost in church, that's not the same thing. I'm like, and I'm not saying that there aren't low vibrational spirits and things that can happen that are possessions that don't align with the light. But I'm telling you, catching the Holy Ghost and what they call possession in African traditional religion, same thing. Offerings to ancestors and deities, tithing and communion, the eating of the body of Christ, and the giving, y'all. Come on, y'all, reclaim. Ancestral altar, right? Church altar, altar call, going to the altar, sitting there. Usually the altar is elevated. There's the podium. There's usually a cross behind the person who is at the podium when they speak. There's all kinds of, usually sometimes stained glass windows where all this imagery is there. When you create an altar, it's the colors and the symbolism and the things that you need so that you can create a holy space for people to gather and experience the energy and the light of the God, of the of spirit, of the ancestors. There's a parallel there. Syncretism, honoring of ancestors and deities, veneration of saints, and calling on their names in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And prominent big biblical figures get called on all the time, the same as the African traditional religion does. It may not look exactly the same, but the concepts are the same. Talismans, mojo bags, oil, elekes, the Bible, anointing oil, crosses, and rosaries. Do y'all see what I see? Do y'all see what is here? We can't make this up, but we do make up a lot of stuff about it, and we make it wrong and we separate it, and it's not separate. So anybody want to share? Because I've been talking a lot. Chantel, anything in the chat that we need to read?
Yeah, let me take a look. But while I look, something else is I would add to this, and Brandon has mentioned it before, numerology in the Bible. Did you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, adding that too, he's made the reference between the Bible and how we use numerology as well. We were talking about numbers earlier.
Yes, absolutely. The numbers all in the Bible. The Bible is the number of books, the division, like the middle. I'm trying to say the very center of the Bible. I forget what the statement is. I wish it could come to me about what they say about the very center of the Bible and numbers. But the number of books, the way it's laid out, yes, all numerology, and even what they're declaring, what the messages are for the central figures, what they use, the crystals are in the Bible, all kinds of energy, the laying on of hands, the raising up, all the spiritual gifts are in the Bible, right? So definitely it's there. Chantel, move to the next slide. I just want to show something that is just a demonstration of syncretism. Mm-hmm. So you see the woman shouting at the bottom right, and you see the woman at the top center in the red. I think this is part of a Haitian ritual or a ritual around Voodoo. In the top left, this is an African ceremony where they're beating the drums and people are being indwelled by spirit or mounted, as they say. You see the woman at the bottom right. She has her Bible and she has her fan, and probably some music is playing, and she's caught up in the spirit. So lots and lots of ways that these syncretisms show up, and we just don't acknowledge them. And then across religious practices and belief, there are very much parallels to Buddhism and trying to think of some other practices. What is the piece that people who follow Hare Krishna, what is it called? Oh, I can't think of. Drop it in the chat. Like I said, I have more one brain in this space. So I love that. So drop it in if you know. Now, this last part, I want to make sure that I cover because I didn't get to it last time. And like I said, they'll be dealing with me if I don't, which is these three women that I want to amplify. And these are just three examples of women that stand in their spiritual. Yes, thank you, Janice. Hi, Janice. Don't know you, but thank you for being here. I don't think I know you. So just thinking about the women who are wilding out by utilizing their spiritual gifts and their intuition on purpose with purpose. So let's start with Octavia. Who's willing to read about Octavia?
I can do it.
You.
Octavia Butler's novels consistently explore the complex interplay of power, spirituality, and the experiences of Black women. So, showcasing
There's an alarm. Go ahead.
showcasing their resilience, strength, and unique gifts in often challenging and oppressive circumstances. Butler's characters often grapple with existing religious beliefs and forge new ones, like the character Lauren Alamina's Earthsea philosophy, based on adaptability and the power of change. This highlights the spiritual resilience and innovative thinking within Black women's experiences.
Ashe. Yeah. So, Cassandra, I know you read a lot, but I don't want to make assumptions. Have you read Octavia's works?
Cassandra? Yes, I have.
Yeah, and any of them, like I get lost in that material. I consider Octavia's books sacred text. And I want y'all to know that sometimes you receive a message via text and it's sacred text because it's the message that you need for the moment for your growth and development. I know because I send sacred text to people, like when it comes to me, many of you have received text messages from me or voice notes, and I share what comes up for me. I pour into people. That's part of one of my spiritual gifts is the power of the word. So we can get sacred texts in many different ways, like literal text messages that you like, how did you know I needed this? Like, I'm so glad you reached out to me. This is what I needed to carry on because I was feeling so bad and so low until you reached out to me. And Octavia's books are they are sacred texts. They speak of a future. She's Afrofuturistic in her shares. She talks about women a lot and powerful Black women and all these powers they possess. She talks about aliens. Like, I feel like she was an alien or an angel on earth and she died mysteriously. I think it was a head injury. But she came in here like the wind and she left like the wind. And so she wilded out unapologetically in a genre of writing that was dominated by white males. And she got in there and wrote these books that just were amazing, won so many awards. And there's so much messaging in her books. The Parable of the Sower, Earthseed, Kindred, all of these books. Like, if you don't know, you better find out. Follow Octavia if you don't have time to turn the pages. Go to audiobook and listen to the books because they're amazing. So if you're a follower of Octavia Butler and you know what I'm talking about, drop it in the chat. Drop her name in there, Octavia, so we can conjure her up and let her know that we love her and we adore her. Thank you. So who can read about Harriet? We all know about Mama Harriet, but I want to reiterate. Thank you, Gina, for dropping that in. Desiree, thank you for dropping that in. Speak her name because they only die when we stop speaking their names. So Harriet Tubman, who wants to read about her?
Hattie.
Thank you, Hattie.
Harriet Tubman experienced trances and visions after a head injury in childhood. These spells were later understood as spiritual downloads, guiding her escape plans, safe travel routes, and divine protection during missions. She is known to have said, "I always told God, I'm going to hold steady on you. And you've got to see me through."
Ashe.
Yeah.
Ooh, I forgot that I put that in, but just thinking about whatever your belief and your practices are, if it's the ancestor that you're anchored to and you're going to hold on to and call in, because right now I'm preparing for the Wild Intensive, which I hope some of you sisters in the space will join. Some folks in the space already have said yes to the journey, and I thank you for saying yes and trusting yourself first and then the process. But my ancestor that I'm calling in for Wild to cover me while I lead is Nanny Burroughs, Nanny Helen Burroughs, activist, spiritual leader, educator, orator, like amazing, amazing woman, right? And just thinking about sometimes when we're about to work on something, this is for somebody. One of you, somebody in the space is about to embark on something that you've never done before, and there's fear around it. And I want you to know you're not alone. We don't have to be alone unless we choose it. And our ancestors want to support us. They're there to support anyway, but they want us to tap in with intention so that they can give the support. Call on someone that can guide you through. When I wrote my book, Octavia was one of my guides. I had a circle of guides supporting me with writing my book, and I would call them in. I would burn my candle and I would write, type, do all of that. Call in who you need for this next leg of the journey, the business that you're embarking on, the new relationship you want to manifest. Have them support you and anchor you, and ask them to give you a sign when they are there. Be intentional about who you call on, because not everybody who's an ancestor is well. Like some people are in limbo and they're just angry still, like even on the ancestral plane. But be intentional about who you call on. Ask for the signs, ask for the support. I always told God, fill in the gap, whatever that gap is. It may be God for you. I'm going to hold steady on you, and you've got to see me through to the next leg of the journey so I can get to the other side, land on my feet, and keep moving. So thank you, Harriet. Let's drop Harriet's name in. Maybe it's Harriet for you to carry you from out of bondage. And sometimes the bondage is in our own minds, to the other side so we can get to our liberated selves and do what we're ordained to do on the planet. Come on, y'all. Let's support ourselves by putting Mama Harriet's name in the chat. Harriet Tubman, let's drop it in. Let's call on her. Let's thank her, because many of us wouldn't be here the way that we're here if it wasn't for her sacrifice and her deep listening and connection to intuition and to God. All right, dropping in Harriet. Thank you, Mama Harriet. Yes, Desiree, call on her. Yes, Rachel, call on her. All right. Yes, and talk about mothering. Woo! Right, we talked about a mother's love is infinite. Hers is infinite. So last but not least, this is someone that I just got to know when I was working on this. She called me in, and I'm so grateful she called me in, is Marie, I think it's Kinge. Somebody else can say this. If you have a relationship with French, in this language, you can tell me the proper pronunciation, because I don't want to misspeak. But who's willing to read this summary about Marie? Come on.
We have Rachel.
Rachel.
Yes, Rachel. Come on, Mama.
Hold on. I had a question, but let me get my glasses because I'm open to that too.
All right.
I can't see nothing. All right, so here we go. How do you say her last name? Kingu?
Who knows how to say it? Who is it?
Kingu?
I said Kinge. But
Kinge? Okay.
Kinge.
Kinge.
Okay, so Marie Kinge, also known as Marie Catherine, was born in Congo, captured and enslaved in Saint Domingo. She reclaimed her identity by adopting the name Kinge, signaling her Congolese roots. She rose to prominence as a healer, herbalist, midwife, and diviner, offering protection against evil spells, crafting, salesmen, diagnosing poisoners, and even reputed to raise the dead.
Yeah.
I'm on the phone, so.
Oh, it's okay. We got you. So diagnosing poisons, maybe poisoners too. She's like, they did it. They did it. You want to read the last part?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Hold on one sec. Her reputation transcended social boundaries. She cared for enslaved Africans, free people of color, and even white colonists. Her trance-like states and bold presence granted her remarkable sway on and off plantations.
Yes, talk about it.
Mm.
Thank you, Marie, for utilizing your gifts. And I'm sure that there were those who followed her and believed in her and would go to her for support spiritually. And there were those who probably demonized her and wanted to attack her for what she was doing. But we're just grateful, like utilizing all her healing gifts and powers to support her people during some very, very trying and tragic times. And so we want to drop her name in and acknowledge her as well, Marie Kenge, or Marie Catherine, and just thank her for her contribution to our people, to her people. Woo, so grateful. On purpose, with purpose, these women, and there are so many women like this. You are these women, beloveds. You are these women. You know these women, meaning in your life. You have women in your family, your grandmother, your auntie, your cousin, and just supporting them so that they can keep doing what it is that they're called to do. Some of them have been called weird or quirky or out of order or have been laughed at and treated poorly because they're utilizing their gifts. And I want us to reverse this and break cycles. Maybe you are that person in the family that provides this holding in this space and you are second guessing yourself. You are being called weird and being called demonic or uncivilized or undomesticated, but we're wilding out. So we are ourselves unapologetically. And when you're being that, that sometimes comes with scrutiny and judgment, but you have to be bigger than that. And you have a community here that is willing to support you with being your bigger self, your wiser self, and honoring the powers and the gifts that you have been given. So we have a last slide. I'm not going to play the song, Chantel. We're going to move to closing out because y'all have been so generous with your time. So this last slide, let's look at it really quickly. And I have a question. Thank y'all for dropping Marie. Don't jip Marie. Please drop her name in and make sure that we speak her up, big her up, love on her, because the mother's love is infinite, right? So wilding out equals restoring the divine design. And you, beloveds, are the divine design. This session is for anybody, no matter how you identify, because there's no binary that binds us in this space. So whether you identify as woman, female, or male, she, her, hers, he, him, his, or you have them, they, or whatever your pronouns are, you are part of the divine ecosystem, and we need you to be activated fully in what you're called to do. And so to be wild is not to be reckless, right? Somebody mentioned emotion means to be in motion. And I'm saying to you that emotion, is about not creating a commotion, but being like really aligned with order, with power. That doesn't mean being hemmed up, but sometimes we got to shake shit up and stir things up so that we can move them forward. So I'm inviting you to make a commotion in a high vibrational way. Be unapologetic in your conjuring and you're speaking light into the world, but start with self. Start with self. So to be wild is not to be reckless. It is to return to our natural state where we are in rhythm with our bodies, ancestors, and intuitive intelligence. Yes, yes. So please share an intuitive spiritual gift that you want to reclaim for yourself. And I'm saying reclaim because you know it, right? You may not be conscious of it, but maybe today you became more conscious and now you're ready to rock. What's that spiritual gift? So that your ancestors and your progeny, like what you're creating for the future as far as gifts, talents, businesses, that's your progeny and children, right? So your progeny can be aligned with their gifts. So drop that in the chat. What are you willing to work on? I know I'm reclaiming and amplifying my ability to be a medium, like to have someone in energy drop in and then me give messages from mediumship. I do it already like in my awakened self, like talking to you as me, but I also want to be able to be indwelled so I can speak messages into spaces. And I know I can do it. It's happened to me, but I want to make it happen more from a grounded space with the knowledge that I am covered and the messages that I'm providing are for the people and for me. So what gift you want to drop in, and Chantel, if you can call those out, and anything else you think that needs to be amplified in the space for us to complete this session. Jamie, I didn't know you were here. Hey, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie. And is that Mama Janice your mom, or is that a different Janice? When I saw her name come after you. Oh,
We
someone.
can't hear you, Jamie.
Oh, yeah, you're far away.
Yeah, come straight, come closer to the phone. And I'm about to grab something, y'all. Keep dropping it in. What are you willing to amplify? Google spiritual gifts. Maybe you don't know what the language is, but Google spiritual gifts, see the list, and then pick from the list.
I forgot I had you guys coming through the Bluetooth.
Okay, you got it?
Can you hear me now?
You're still low. It must be the Bluetooth.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll listen and we'll repeat what we can.
There we go. Beautiful. Yeah, I landed in at about 8:05. And Shan, I said the same thing when I saw Janice. I was like, hey, Mom, I was about to message the person to say, are you here? But yes, I'm here wilding out with you ladies. So happy to be in the space.
Ashe, yes. And Jamie is a coach for Be the Tree, and she's also going to be part of the Wild Intensive that's starting this Sunday, y'all.
And as a participant, and that is like so refreshing. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what's on the other side.
Same, mama, same. And Jamie just made me, she ignited in me to grab my cards. I love these cards because I had them before Jamie showed that she had them. But when I see her, it makes me think of this deck. So there's a deck called the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck. There are 44 cards in the deck. They're made by Abiola Abrams, who's a powerful, powerful spiritual being.
Yeah.
The cards are amazing. They're beautiful, aesthetically beautiful. So I'm going to pull one for the group before we close out. But Chantel, what do you have in the chat? Like, what are people saying that they're going to work on?
All right, 1 second. So Gina said, I declare and reclaim my gift of spiritual dreaming.
I guess. Woo! Thank you. Who else?
Maria Clara said, my connection to trees, my connection reading people's energy, to teach, my responsibility to use my gifts, to share back with community, emboldening to be a revolutionary.
Yes. And that was Maria Clara?
Yes.
All right. Can you help me out, sis? Can you come off mute? Let's get your gifts in motion right now. I need you to help me to pick a card for the group. So when you unmute, just tell me where to stop.
How do I tell you where to stop?
Just say stop.
Okay. Stop.
All right, got it. Thank you. All righty. I will do this next, but Chantel, keep going. What other things are people declaring that they're going to study and focus on so they can grow spiritually?
All right. So Jamie said to learn what my gifts are besides being an empath. Desiree said empath and intuition. Evelyn, I'm reclaiming my connection to spirit, amplifying it. Tishu said Oracle intuitive coach.
Got
And
it. Yes. Love it.
Reclaim and amplify my healing. Baxter, I want to reclaim my dream gift.
Yeah.
A little stuffy. My connection with my ancestors.
Mhm.
And Laura said, I'm reclaiming my higher self. And let's see. Cassandra said faith, healing, and intuition. Jamie said, my daily ancestors. Thank you, Coach. You have no idea right now. Just jumping. Thank you, Coach. You have no idea how right on time you pulling is right now.
Yes.
Oh, Cynthia.
Who was that? Who was that?
Jamie.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Cynthia said, my spiritual dreaming with interpretation, stronger intuition, and trusting myself. Let's see. Veronica said, increase my practice as a pranic healer. Cassandra said creativity. And Chrissy, thank you so much, dropped a list of gifts that we can look into. So such as intuition, dreaming and visioning, mediumship, healing, empathy, discernment. Oh, this is good. Prophecy.
Yes.
Teaching and guiding, reading and divination, channeling, connection to nature, intercession or prayer, and leadership.
Yes. Woo!
And one of the things go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chantal.
What stuck out to me when you said laying of hands before, My mom was sick for about 15 years, and most of those years is where I learned my gift of laying of hands. And then I thought I had to go into Reiki and get a certification to be
Oh,
certified because that's what society tells us, right? And they were like, "Girl, you've been laying hands," and I was, thinking spiritually and just traditionally, culturally, what laying of hands is. And I felt like I had to prove it to other people with buying classes and all the certifications and stuff, and that's what it was. It was a transfer of my energy or being a vessel and a conduit. That's
yeah.
what I
Oh my
guess.
God. This is a whole teaching moment itself. But whiteness and patriarchy will tell you that your gifts are demonic and then they monetize your gifts.
Right.
It's
Right.
so freaking weird. Monetize it, declare certification, take them over, commandeer, appropriate. It's bananas. We don't need to pay shit for our gifts. We need to ask for guidance, the proper guidance, and then lean in and listen. And so much interference and noise that it gets in the way. So releasing as much as we can because it's impossible to unplug fully. But just creating a space for asking for the support because they want nothing but to support us. They would support us with anything. I asked Spirit what to put on, shoe. I say this all the time with shoes to wear. It's like, am I going to be comfortable all day with these shoes? They're like, absolutely not. Not like literally. I hear the voices sometimes, but not around that. I use my pendulum. They're like, no, take them shoes off or bring some extra ones in your bag so that you can be comfortable. When I don't listen, then I'll be walking around feeling crippled throughout the day. But it's the little things. They want to support us and cover us. We miss out on being covered so much because we don't believe and we don't tap in. So anything else more that you want to share, Chantel, on the thread before I give us the card that we received today?
Let's see. Deep healing. Theodora said reclaiming my spirituality and self-healing. Cassandra said being a prayer warrior. And Sweetness said hands, hands, hugs, and hands. We have so much power in our hands.
Ashe.
No,
Yeah.
it's true. This makes me think of Coach Sahu speak and sacred her sacred touch and healing and how
Yeah.
powerful her hands have been in
Yeah.
my life. Yes. Um, Jamie said, I'm also here to enforce my beliefs and my gifts I know I have besides being an empath. And Janice said, being committed to transferring divine light, increase in my intuition, prophecy, and connecting to my angels and guides.
Sure.
Patty said, lean into, listen, and take action on the messages I receive from God.
Yeah. I saw Rashida said, please play this
Song.
Listen, I'm led to listen, right? Because the song that I was going to play is a song that I wrote, and I was part of a spiritual collective that focused on the feminine divine. And I was riding the train, and Spirit gave me the song, and then I shared it with the group, taught them the song, and then we recorded it. And it's called Walk in the Light, which is a message around honoring our divine gifts. But this is the card deck that I'm using. It's coming in backwards, but it's the African Goddess Rising Oracle deck, Abiola Abrams. So you can purchase it. The deck is beautiful. It's beautiful. The colors, it's just popping. The card that Maria Clara utilized her gifts to co-create with me to pick or call forth is Sarah Lakali. And the message underneath is divine lineage. Remember, I started this session, if you were in here, talking about our matrilineal and patrilineal lines and how they're all connected. And I'm asking them to come in, those who are well and grounded as ancestors to support us. And such a beautiful card. Look at her. So beautiful. And look at her crown. She knows who she is. Look at the colors. And water is moving all behind her. Like water is a powerful conduit for spiritual giftedness, emotional presence, and generating. Love her, love her. And the message, Sada La Kali, goddess of divine lineage. And this is from Egyptian and Romani culture. The temple is the ancestors and the element is water. She's a great ancestress and Egyptian prophetess and the patron saint of the Romani people. Oral history says that Saint Sara had the highest divine lineage. And her message, your ancestors protect the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is you. You're the Holy Grail. You. Divine ones walk beside and within you. Trust. What a perfect message for us, because some people are like shaky around what we've been doing today. All is well. You'll land where you need to land. And I love the resistance too. It has its purpose. Your ancestors want to remind you that you are not alone. They are rooting for you. They ask you to honor your spirit guides and call upon the power of the divine. We call this forth. Create or nourish your ancestral altar or shrine. Unbury your ancestors. Unbury your ancestors. Speak your grandmother's names, your auntie's names, your uncle's names. Call them names. Bring them back. Speak their names. I didn't read it. I just said it and it just echoed. Speak their names. Your divine lineage ancestors may be blood related or culturally or spiritually connected. The declaration, I am my sister and my sister is me. Ashe. Thank you, Seta Lakali. All right. And we are closing out. Chantel, you can I'll drop the link for the song into the chat. I'm just conscious. I don't want to keep people in the space longer. That's what I'm like, operating from a space of we've been here so long. But I'll listen to whatever guidance you provide, Chantel. So what do you want to do?
We can hear from Rachel. I think she says it. Rachel, do you still have a question or is your hand up from before?
No, I have a burning question.
Oh, come on, burn, baby, burn.
Yeah. So you said something about calling on to the ancestors, right? But you also said be mindful of who you're calling on, right? So my question to you is, how do you identify who's not in a good, who not to call on? Because if they're angry, if they're angry, not angry with me, how do you know what I'm saying? If they're angry with the world, does that impact me? Like that's my question. And
Yeah.
that's
Like, does anger, anybody's anger when they're around you impact you?
It can, yeah. So yeah, got it.
They
Okay.
do. And also
I might not be able to call on anybody.
that's not true. Sometimes it's transmuted, the anger that they had in their physical lifetimes, like when they're physical beings, it gets transmuted when they cross over, sometimes not.
Got it.
Ask for guidance.
Okay.
Ask for those who are in the light to come through to support you, and check in with your body and your being, and ancestors and spiritual guides. There's like levels to it, so please do your research. There are levels to like the spiritual plane. It's not just all one plane. But what you can do is what just came to me, and I just lost it. Oh my gosh. Oh, check in with yourself. Like they're not a grounded ancestor, spiritual guide, spiritual being do not create chaos or chaotic energy. And so if you find that that is happening with you as you engage, just be conscious. But the power in our tongue, to ask for support, to ask for guidance, to ask for it to be grounded and aligned, and ask for anything that you're speaking about to honor the greatest good for all involved, especially if you're involving other people and asking about them. So like what's in alignment with the greatest good for all involved? And then any energy that is about the greatest good for all involved on this plane and the next, can be called in, but it's definitely a muscle to build so that you're calling in the right energies. I know for myself, I just checked in with my tools the other day. Like I clean them all the time, the tools that I use, but I'm like, even like the cards and stuff like that, because they can get muddled with energy from me or my environment. And so constantly cleaning, clearing, making sure that you're grounded when you're asking, and you're not asking from desperation, because sometimes we call in the low vibrational energies because we're anxious and trying to force an outcome. They're like, oh, this is what you want? All right. And sometimes there are unsettled spirits that just want to be engaged with. And it's just not good energy for you to be calling in because they're unsettled and desperate for connection. So there's a lot of layers to this. We would need a whole other, like I'm going to be addressing this in the Wild Intensive, but we need a whole training piece. And I've been asked again and again to do this, and I'm coming back to it through Wild, but I'll definitely be doing more teaching over the next year plus around this because Spirit is asking me to do that. So thank you, Rachel, for your burning question. I love that you ignited it in this space. All right, family. Chantel, we ready to close out?
Yes, I believe so.
All right, awesome. Oh, and I'll drop the song in so y'all can listen to the song. It's called Walk in the Light. Composed by me. One of the singers on there is my daughter Jasmine, my friend Jennifer, her daughters Coco and Quinn. Marshall Soulful Jones, I think, is on there, and my voice as well. So, yeah, an original piece that is like 12 years old or something. All right, let me pull this up for y'all. I'm not playing it, I'm just dropping the link in. Go ahead, Chantal.
Oh, I was pulling up the information about the Wild Intensive.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll drop the link in the chat as well. But the Wild Intensive, we talked about all of this, women intuitively leading by design. So how do you hone in on these tools and manifestations of your powers and your gifts? It's by joining the Wild 4-month journey with us. So this intensive is a sacred 4-month journey for adult women of all background, ages, and leadership paths. And it's going to be led by our very own Shawnee Benton Gibson, CEO, healer, organizer, mother, mentor, artist, all the things, which is a program designed to ignite the untapped parts of our leadership as women, like we spoke about, these gifts that we've had for so long, and we're just learning to trust. We're learning how to use them wisely and intuitively and listen, right? And so this is what we're going to cover in our Wild Intensive over the 4 months. Let me see. Oh, let me move some things around. And I saw some people were interested. So we are going to have our last 2 intro sessions where you can learn more about the program. But again, we're inviting you to reclaim the parts of yourself that have been neglected in the name of survival, right? And just by way of your family, society, things that you've been told, how you've been censoring yourself all this time, and need to fully learn who you are spiritually as a being and the gifts that you've been given and that have been planted in you by design. So, and also it's led by coaches such as myself who've done the WOW program last year. And we had the privilege of being a part of the program in its beta version, pretty much, and getting to know it and understand it and provide feedback and nourishment as well for the design. But it was an amazing experience. And I can't tell you how much it allowed me to tap into who I am and by design, by my maker to use my gifts. And so and still I'm still learning to trust, but I had to learn that I had to learn to trust in the program. I didn't know that I wasn't trusting it until I said it out loud and got the support from the women in the program.
Ashe.
All right. So let me see the next slide. Yep. So Shawnee, what's your special offer?
Yes, join a wild introduction. The introductions are free, and there's 2 left, as Chantel said. But if you're not available for the introduction, don't let that stop you from tapping into me or Chantel or other members of the wild team to actually get clear about what the program is and how you can join. There's tuition involved. I always love to talk about the money because money is energy. And some of us have spiritual gifts for manifesting money and resources. And some of us, the reason why some of the energy around money is blocked is because we haven't tapped in, we haven't freed ourselves up. We're in a disempowering context about money. And so in time too, it's like, I don't have time for this, I'm too busy, but we can't afford to be sleep anymore. So the free introduction is called Leading by Nature, Awakening the Wild Woman Within. Totally different than today. So you got a bonus today by engaging in this conversation, but in the Wild Intensive, we'll take a deeper dive than we did today about spiritual gifts and how they work and how to tap in and work the muscle and discover what they are, amongst other things around leadership in women and leading as a femininely divine person and leading holistically. So our next 2 intros are on Saturday at 4 p.m. and then Sunday. What's the time for Sunday? Noon, 12 o'clock. You need to blow that nose, Chantel.
It's still stuffy. Maybe
So
something metaphysically is coming up for me.
Right. Yeah. And the stuffiness and the breathing, I've talked to you about this before, is about grief and getting out emotional blockages for sure. So anybody who's dealing with stuffiness and asthma, it's all like grief. Yours and people in your clan probably, or the people around you. But Leading by Nature, Awakening the Wild Woman Within, free introduction session to prepare you to participate with the WILD Intensive. WILD stands for Women Intuitively Leading by Design. So the program is for women, but men will be blessed because we're doing the work. And there's a $1,500 tuition that's associated with it. It's a 4-month program from September 14th, which is this Sunday. It starts at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all virtual. We meet every other Sunday, so it's not every Sunday. And we have clusters that we're in so we can practice what we learn in the sessions so that we can grow. And then there's 4 separate offerings: a psychodrama session, a hypnotherapy session, a 7-day ritual to close out the year. That's all about legacy building. And then also plant medicine journey that will be led by our beloved Maddie Ness, who facilitates in this session all the time and is a powerful shaman. So lots to be offered here. Check it out, y'all. Come to the free intro just to see what's possible and then explore whether you want to join or not. So let's carry on. My contact information. So damn near everybody has my number. My number's out there, but here's my number. Text me if you want to talk more about WILD, or if you have questions about what we talked about today. I'm open to it. I'm on Facebook. You can follow me, Shawnee Benton Gibson. Instagram at Shawnee the Healer. My email address is soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com. You can screenshot this, or you can tap into the links that Chantel drops into the chat to be in touch with me. I'm open. If I don't get right back to you, it's just because I have a busy schedule the next couple of days, but you can definitely reach out to me. I'm here for it. And I love y'all so much. And I want to keep growing with you. Chantel, does something happen with your screen share?
I'm grabbing the Calendly. 1 second.
Oh, good.
All right. So this is the link for the WILD sessions to join us. All right. Let me pull this back up.
Oh, I could have grabbed that, or Gina for you.
Erase. Here we go.
Yeah, so register, jump in. Next one is Saturday. On the day we start the program, there's an intro too at 12 o'clock. So check it out. Don't wait though. All right. You want me to do this, or shall I? Make sure you. Okay. Love offering. So what y'all get from this session today? All of this juiciness, people like transformed, tapped in. This is right on time. Give. This is not a mandate. This is an energy exchange. Like, giving is a ritual, y'all, depending on what you're giving to and why. So I just invite you to give love offerings as a result of what you received today. Not a mandate, invitation, not obligation. We utilize the donations to keep our Zoom up and our automated texting. All the infrastructures are Kajabi, which helps us with our e-blast. It helps with the administrative aspects of Wake Up because we don't pay anybody for facilitation or for being on our admin team. So utilize Zelle. If you have Zelle, soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com, the email address for Spirit of a Woman, and then Cash App, $ Spirit of a Woman. And you can give any amount, doesn't matter. Like, all of it will be used to contribute to this sacred space. And you can use the code #1455, which is the day of our session. We've facilitated 1,455 sessions on Wake Up, y'all. We're amazing. And use my initials SBG for Shawnee Benton Gibson. You can move forward. And then there's a way to give monthly. If you want to give monthly because you're here for it, right? You can set it up. There are many people who give on a monthly basis, like Jacqueline. Laura gives almost every day that she's here, and we thank you for it. And there are others that have given to us, and we're just super grateful for everything and everyone that is so generous in this way. Not everybody can do that monthly giving, but think about it. If you have subscriptions you don't even use, you can give that to Wake Up. If you cancel one, it's like you've been given $5 a month, give it to Wake Up. And you can have Chantel set up a special link for you if you don't want to give one of these increments, 25, 50, 75, or 100 a month. But it's well worth it because what we're providing is worth millions of dollars. When I think about the 5 years and how many lives have been transformed because of Wake Up Everybody offerings. Let's move forward. And everything's in the chat. Up next on Sunday, September 14th, is our brother, beloved Baba Afam, and he has 2 names too. One of them is missing. It's another A name. It's not coming to me right now, Lord. But anyway, first name Daryl, and what he's going to facilitate, I'm sure, is spiritually based. He's a healer through hands, through movement, He's amazing. So To Be Determined is the title, but Trust and Believe is going to be about healing and transformation. And this is for Sunday. And y'all tune in, set your alarm so you can join him and keep growing. The Wake Up Everybody welcomes all new members. A lot of folks were new today, and so grateful that you were able to come and join us. We're here to learn, elevate, and ascend, and we want to do that with you. So you joining means you're an automatic member, but officially register, and we'll show you how to do that so you can receive our announcements and e-blast, and you can join us on Facebook. So keep coming back, y'all. It's worth it. And we need admins to support us. Like Chantel is my admin for today, and Gina, Chantel was main admin to do all the magical things she was doing in the session, plus contribute to the session. Gina was the Facebook admin to bridge us into Facebook. And so I thank you both. We need more admins to do the morning adminning. We need folks to create the slides because somebody worked on slides. We need folks to onboard. There are people who onboard the facilitators to prepare them for the session. We're so grateful. We have folks that, manage Facebook and the announcements. So please do join us if you have the bandwidth and the desire or just curiosity. Come check it out. You can email us to let us know. And Chantel, please check the email when you get a chance today so we can see if there are folks who have expressed an interest in volunteering. And then we'll train and develop you so you can do it. So you don't have to worry about having the skill set. You do need equipment and all of that, like a laptop, Wi-Fi and other things for some of the admin roles, but you can check it out and see what's possible.
Yes, y'all. It's a whole production behind the scenes.
Yes, there is.
We're here in the morning, but there's so much work that goes into it from volunteers to make every session possible.
Ashe, and we need more for sure. We need more.
Yeah, and even more admin, but also facilitators. If you know people who can join this space and add value to it, please recommend them to us as well.
Ashe. Yes, thank you. Definitely.
You can send their names to anyone on the team, really, and then make sure we.
Thank you, hon.
Yeah.
All right, schedule Sunday through Thursday. We are here. Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday is a 90-minute session. And then Monday and Wednesday are 30-minute sessions, 5 days a week without fail. So definitely put us on your calendar and take your Wake Up Everybody vitamin 5 days a week. And if you want to be added to a automated texting system that we have in place, just type in 74121 through your text app and then send wake up. I'm sorry. Let me slow down. I'm tired, y'all. Type in 74121 for the text app and put in Woo Nation in all caps and then send it like you're sending a message to anybody. And then it will add you automatically to the texting in the morning. And if you want to stop it, you just type to the same number, the word stop, and it will stop the texting if you want to break from it or if you don't want to be woken up out of your sleep and you want to get up naturally on your own. We can carry on. And then just thank you. Here are all the links so that you can register to receive official announcements each week for who's going to be facilitating. You can get the announcements that we have about offerings that different facilitators have, and we send that via email. You can follow us on Facebook. We have a private page and a public page. So please, follow us on both so you can get all this juiciness that we provide in the mornings. And follow us on Instagram. We're trying to increase our presence there so that we can be talking to you on all different platforms. We have a YouTube account, so please subscribe. We have a lot of our videos up and we're planning to put the rest of them, over 1,000 videos that you can tap into at any time, and they're categorized so you can tap into what you want to discover through looking through the category or the table of contents. And then you can email us once again at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com to share testimony, to share your desire to volunteer, to share suggestions about facilitators, or to declare that you want to be a facilitator, or to give suggestions for how we can make this better. And I am complete. Ooh, my body is so sore.
Let us make sure we give you a warm shower. Aches and pains. So thank you so much for this fruitful conversation and for being a conduit of this information, Shawnee. I'm going to unmute everybody so we can give her love shower for today.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you,
you so
thank you,
much,
thank you,
sis.
thank you, thank
Welcome
you,
home.
thank you.
Amazing.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank you,
much for
Shawnee.
the
Thank you,
love.
the guys, the
Thank you,
mother
thank you,
of
love,
the
for
Thank you,
and,
Shawnee.
education.
Thank
and
you.
Thank
waking
you.
us
Welcome.
up.
Thank you
We
all.
got
Thank
answers
you
up.
so
Everything
much.
that I received
Thank
when I
you,
love
Wilding
you.
sis.
out.
Thank you,
Only
Shawnee.
Fall
you
back
know
asleep.
Wilding
So
all
off.
that you
Wild
do.
Thank
out.
May it be
you.
poured back into you
Wild
a
out.
hundredfold. And may you be
1,450
blessed
something
and
times.
abundantly
Okay.
like
Wild
no
out.
tomorrow.
Love that
Sorrow,
story.
for sorrow.
Yes,
Anything you
yes.
put your
Thank
hand
you.
Thank
to shall
you,
prosper.
Carmen, my
Gratitude.
Thank
colleague.
you.
Love
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Keep
Love
me
you.
still.
Wish you
Love
rest,
Yes.
you.
To
Have
go
peace,
a
with
Love
me.
you.
healthy
beautiful, beautiful
Peace
day.
and
Thank you,
blessings.
Shawnee.
You're
for
welcome.
all that you put into this
Ashe, you're welcome.
service.
Amen.
Thank
Amen.
Love and
you.
light. Love and light to all.
Have a good day, y'all.